From a quiet boy to India's most powerful dreamer. Welcome to a place where stories don't just entertain you, they change you. Welcome to a channel where you learn English through inspiration, not textbooks. Here, you don't study life, you feel life. Here, you don't memorize words, you understand courage. In today's story, you will learn how a simple boy became one of the richest men on earth. How failure creates fearless people. Why patience is more powerful than talent. How discipline quietly builds destiny. And why your starting point does not decide your ending. This is not a business story. This is a human story. And by the end, your thinking will change. So if you love growth, belief, and simple English, subscribe now. Because your mindset is about to level up. The boy who watched his father dream. Mukesh Ambani was not born into luxury. He was born into effort. His father, Dhirubhai Ambani, was a man with big dreams but empty pockets. They lived in a small home. There was no AC, no comfort, no power, but there was something more powerful: vision. A home full of hope. At night, Mukesh watched his father write ideas in notebooks. He watched him calculate, plan, and dream. He learned something very early. Dreams are not spoken. They are built. The psychology of observation. Psychology says, children copy what they see, not what they hear. Mukesh did not learn ambition in school. He learned it in silence, by watching effort. The day his life changed, Mukesh went to Stanford University. He was brilliant, but then, his father called and said, "Come back, I need you." He had a choice: safe life in America or risky life in India. He chose purpose over comfort. The power of sacrifice. This choice shaped everything. He left Stanford. He returned to India. He joined Reliance. He didn't complain. He learned. He listened. He worked silently. The quiet builder. Mukesh was not loud. He was not dramatic. He was consistent. Every day he showed up. He built systems. He understood machines. He studied production. He prepared for leadership. The secret of his mindset. Mukesh believed, short-term comfort destroys long-term greatness. He chose discipline. What you should learn. Vision grows by watching builders. Sacrifice creates leaders. Silence builds strength. Comfort delays destiny. Discipline decides future. The years that built steel inside his soul. Welcome back. If you are here again, it means something inside you wants to grow. Because this part is not about money. It is about pressure, patience, pain, and the quiet power of becoming strong. When responsibility landed on his shoulders. When Mukesh Ambani returned from Stanford, he was not treated like a prince. He was treated like a worker. His father did not say, "Relax, you are my son." He said, "Learn, earn your place." Mukesh worked in factories. He wore simple clothes. He stood with engineers. He studied machines. He understood how products were made. While others saw factories as noise and dust, Mukesh saw foundations. The psychology of humble beginnings. Psychology says, humility expands learning capacity. Mukesh learned it faster because he did not assume he knew everything. He asked questions. He stayed quiet. He absorbed information. He became valuable. The first big failure. Reliance entered a new project. It failed. Money was lost. Criticism was loud. People whispered, "This boy is not ready." Mukesh heard everything, but he did not answer. He worked. How failure builds confidence. Neuroscience shows, the brain builds emotional strength by surviving stress. Mukesh used failure as training. He reviewed mistakes. He corrected systems. He improved planning. He became sharper. His personal discipline. Mukesh lived simply. He woke up early. He studied reports. He walked factory floors. He built relationships with workers. Leadership grew naturally. When pressure got heavy, market competition increased. Debt rose. Expectations grew. People doubted. But Mukesh stayed calm. Because calm people see solutions. The inner shift. He stopped thinking, "I work for Reliance." He started thinking, "I am responsible for Reliance." That mental shift changed everything. The first major success. A major refinery project succeeded. Reliance gained respect. Mukesh gained confidence. But he stayed grounded. What you should learn. Pressure trains leaders. Failure is feedback. Humility multiplies learning. Calm creates clarity. Discipline protects destiny. When quiet power became global strength. Welcome back. You have already seen the boy. You have seen the learner. Now you will meet the builder. This is the chapter where Mukesh Ambani's thinking changed forever, and when his vision started shaping not only a company, but an entire nation's future. This part is not about money. It is about courage to build, courage to wait, and courage to stand alone. The moment he realized, I am responsible now, Mukesh did not wake up one morning feeling powerful. Power came quietly. His father slowly gave him more responsibility, meetings, decisions, large projects, and slowly, Mukesh realized, if something fails, people don't blame reliance. They blame him. This realization changes the human brain. Psychology calls this ownership identity. When you stop saying they will fix it and start saying I must fix it, your discipline, awareness, and emotional strength multiply. Mukesh's life entered this phase when India was changing and he was ready. India was opening its markets. Foreign companies were entering. Technology was evolving. The business world was becoming competitive. Many companies were confused. Mukesh was not, because he had already spent years preparing. He studied global trends. He learned it from international factories. He observed how world leaders built systems. He did not chase speed. He chased structure. The bold decision that shocked everyone. Mukesh made a decision that scared many people. To build the world's largest and most advanced oil refinery in Jamnagar. People were shocked. Experts said, it's too expensive. It's too risky. It may fail. But Mukesh saw something deeper. He saw long-term power. He saw independence. He saw future control over energy. The psychology of big decisions. Big decisions feel lonely. There is no crowd cheering. There is silence, doubt, pressure. Psychology proves, when humans choose long-term success over short-term comfort, their brain enters a higher level of maturity. Mukesh chose maturity. Years of struggle, silent and heavy. The refinery was not built in 1 year. It took years. There were delays. There were cost increases. There were technical failures. Every delay brought criticism. But Mukesh did not react emotionally. He reacted with planning. He fixed problems. He motivated teams. He stayed patient. The day the refinery changed everything. Finally, the refinery started, and something unbelievable happened. It became one of the most complex and powerful refineries in the world. Reliance became global. India became energy independent. Mukesh Ambani became a global industrial leader. But he did not celebrate loudly. He simply returned to work. Because builders never stop building. The inner code that built his success. Mukesh followed silent rules. 1. Long-term thinking beats short-term comfort. 2. Calm solves more than panic. 3. Systems beat emotions. 4. Consistency beats excitement. When criticism got personal, media talked. People doubted. Competitors attacked. But Mukesh stayed silent. Because emotional reaction weakens clarity. The mental shift that made him fearless. He stopped asking, what will people say? He started asking, what will future need? That one question changed his leadership style forever. What you should learn from part 3. Responsibility builds leadership. Long-term vision creates empires. Silence can be power. Patience creates permanent success. Calm thinking builds confidence. The discipline that built an empire. Welcome back. You have already walked through Mukesh Ambani's childhood, his sacrifices, his silent learning, and his first great victories. But now you are entering the most important chapter of his life. Because empires are not built by money. They are built by discipline, patience, emotional control, and invisible daily habits. This is the chapter where Mukesh Ambani became emotionally unbreakable. The invisible struggle nitrogen monoxide one saw. Success looks beautiful from the outside, but from the inside, it feels heavy. Mukesh carried responsibility for thousands of employees, millions of investors, and the future of one of India's biggest companies. He did not show fear, but he felt it. Every leader feels fear, but great leaders train their mind to walk forward anyway. The weight of decisions. Every decision could create jobs, or destroy them. Every decision could grow the company, or damage trust. Mukesh understood that leadership is not power, it is weight. The weight of responsibility, the weight of consequences, the weight of expectations. This weight trained his mind to think deeply, slowly, clearly, calmly. The psychology of calm leaders. Neuroscience shows calm leaders make better decisions because calm thinking activates the brain's logic center. Mukesh trained calm. He did not rush. He did not panic. He did not shout. He listened. He reviewed. He calculated. He moved forward quietly. His morning ritual. Mukesh wakes up early. Not for noise. Not for meetings. But for silence. Silence allows the mind to reset. He reviews plans. He reads reports. He prepares mentally before the world wakes up. This habit created emotional stability. His simple lifestyle mindset. Mukesh does not chase luxury for happiness. He uses comfort only to save time. His happiness comes from building. Because builders are emotionally fulfilled by progress, not applause. How he handled pressure. Pressure is part of leadership. But Mukesh treated pressure as information. Pressure shows where improvement is needed. He didn't fight pressure. He studied it. The art of patience. Mukesh believed. Speed creates results. Patience creates empires. He waited for the right time. He avoided emotional reactions. He trusted systems. He trusted long-term vision. He trusted long-term vision. His emotional control system. He followed 3 rules. 1. Never react immediately. 2. Review before responding. 3. Always choose logic over ego. This protected his clarity, his connection with workers. Mukesh respected workers deeply. He visited factories. He listened. He thanked them. Because he believed. People don't work for money. They work for respect. When the company faced criticism, criticism is painful. But Mukesh used criticism as feedback. He did not reply emotionally. He improved systems. He corrected processes. He stayed silent and let results speak. His private thinking style. Mukesh spends time alone, thinking, planning, visualizing. Silence sharpens vision. His personal values. He believed. Respect builds loyalty. Discipline builds trust. Consistency builds legacy. What you should learn. Calm creates clarity. Patience builds power. Discipline beats motivation. Silence sharpens thinking. Respect multiplies loyalty. The legacy that will outlive time. Welcome to the final chapter. This is not where Mukesh Ambani's story ends. This is where your story begins to change. Because some lives don't finish. They plant a mindset in millions of minds. And Mukesh Ambani is one of them. The moment he realized success was not enough. After building the world's largest refinery. After creating one of the most powerful business empires in Asia. After becoming one of the richest men on earth. Mukesh Ambani felt something quietly rise inside his heart. There must be something more than profit. That thought changed everything. The shift from builder to visionary. He stopped asking, how do we grow reliance? He started asking, how do we transform India? That one shift changed the direction of the company forever. The dream of a digital India. Mukesh saw something before most people did. He saw that the future was digital. He saw that information was power. He saw that internet access would become as important as electricity. But in India, internet was expensive, slow, and limited to cities. Mukesh decided to change that. The decision that shook the market. He announced Jio. People laughed. Experts doubted. Competitors panicked. Billions were invested. And no profit was promised at the beginning. This was not a business move. This was a national mission. When he risked everything, Jio was risky. Debt increased. Pressure grew. People questioned his sanity. But Mukesh was calm. Because he was not thinking about 1 year. He was thinking about generations. The day India went digital, Jio launched. Internet became affordable. Villages came online. Students got access to knowledge. Small businesses entered global markets. Farmers accessed weather data. Families connected. India changed. And Mukesh Ambani became a digital revolutionary. The psychology of purpose-driven leaders. Psychology proves people driven by purpose show higher resilience, deeper patience, and stronger emotional balance. Mukesh was no longer driven by money. He was driven by impact. His focus on education. He invested in education. He believed, if minds are trained, nations rise. His belief about failure. He once said, every failure is preparation. He taught his teams to treat mistakes as training. The emotional legacy. Mukesh didn't just build a company. He built confidence in millions of Indians. He showed that Indian businesses can lead globally. He showed that patience can beat speed. His message to youth. He believes, dream big, prepare deeply, stay disciplined, respect people, serve society. The final truth. You don't need to be rich to think like Mukesh Ambani. You only need discipline, patience, vision, calm thinking, consistency. Your turn. Your background does not define your destiny. Your mindset does. Your habits decide your future. The end but your beginning. If this story touched your heart, changed your thinking, or inspired your dream, subscribe now. Because your future deserves discipline, and your sky is waiting.